Well, it's no surprise that heading into the fall, that the amount of sales and deals for video games are beginning to heat up. I just recently did a video covering a lot of sweet deals on the Nintendo Switch Eshop, but a bunch more have dropped. A lot of games going for brand new low prices, including a bunch from Bandai Namco. I got all the details in today's video, so enough delay on my part, let's dive into the sale. A very faithful remake, Pac-Man World Re-PAC takes the classic PlayStation platformer and revamps it with a new visual look, of course. It looks all pretty now, but it also has some nice adjustments to the gameplay to make platforming generally smoother, along with some improvements to the stages and the layouts to make them a little less annoying than they were in the original game. Basically, it makes the game a whole lot more enjoyable now, in my opinion. And that's coming from someone who enjoyed the original game, but can see, yeah, the original game had some flaws that needed fixing. And pretty much Pac-Man World Re-PAC does that. Just a tip FYI, if you do get this on Switch, I do recommend switching the game in the settings to performance mode. You're going to barely notice any hit to the graphics. Probably going to look the same to you, but you'll definitely appreciate the higher frame rate that the game has. You can get it for $7.49 on the eShop currently, which is a brand new low price for the game on there. For less than $8, it's a pretty darn good deal for a fun platformer like this one. Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythmic Adventure Pack contains 2 previously released games for the Nintendo 3DS, Don and Katsu's Space Time Adventure and Dokodon Mystery Adventure. On the eShop in North America, they are given pretty generic names of Rhythmic Adventure 1 and Rhythmic Adventure 2 respectively. Now these are enhanced ports for the Switch, with updated visuals and gameplay, and of course the gameplay is made to fit one screen now. So what are these games? Well, the Taiko no Tatsujin games, or rhythm games that have you drumming to the beat of the music. But these ones feature RPG gameplay. Yes, they are RPG games that feature the core gameplay that the series is known for. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird mashup, but it is fun. In addition to the RPG mode, there are modes to play along to the songs, just like the main games. The bundle is on sale on the eShop for $19.99 currently, which is by far the lowest price it's ever been. It's never been that cheap before. So if you've been eyeing this bundle for a long time, and have been hoping for a lower price sale, well, now is your chance. With many nods to the first Digimon World game on the PS1, Digimon World Next Order feels like a modern sequel. Instead of turn-based battles or action RPG gameplay, this is more a monster-raising / adventure game. You take your Digimon and you put them to a training regimen, as well as care for them in order for them to get stronger, and maybe even digivolve. With your monster friends in tow, you attempt to explore the world around you, trying to complete quests, as well as battle enemies. I'll admit, this is not my kind of type of game. I tend to prefer the more traditional RPGs, but it is an interesting concept. And if you like the PS1 game from back in the day, or know exactly what to expect here, and are interested in picking it up on Switch, then now's a good time to do so, as it's on sale for a brand new low price on the eShop. It's currently on sale for $14.99. Hey, at the very least, it's far cheaper than you can get it physically these days. The North American physical edition is going for somewhere around $150 to $200 or more on the used market. If you're looking for a simple, yet fun 3D anime fighting game or brawler, then check out My Hero 1's Justice for just $4.99. Featuring heroes and villains from the early days of My Hero Academia, it's pretty fun, and it's filled with lots of over-the-top action and stuffs. The gameplay too is pretty easy to understand. It's not a super complex fighting game. There's multiplayer, both local and online, and a decent amount of content to play through. Honestly, for $5, it makes it a good cheap buy, in my opinion, for fans of this type of stuff. Another good cheap buy is Dragon Ball XENOVERSE 2, an action role-playing game / fighting game that is still receiving updates and content to this very day. It's actually pretty insane. You create your own fighter, and you raise them up, and you train them as you fight through the past, present, and future through different and often original story scenarios and events based on Dragon Ball history. There's a lot of content to experience, and that's before we get to the DLC stuffs. So if you're looking for a cheap, fun DBZ game to sink your teeth into at $5.99, it's a pretty damn good deal. That said, if you want to experience the game with a ton of DLC story scenarios and content, basically the Ultimate Definitive Edition, well, the Special Edition is a terrific way, as you can pretty much get all the main stuff without spending too much money. It contains the game with Super Packs 1 through 4, both Hero Justice Packs, and the Legend Patrol Pack. It's a ton of content, to be honest, and that's on top of all the free updates and stuff. It's on sale for $24.99, which is a brand new low price for it on the eShop. If you're looking for a more traditional story-driven, yet still action RPG Dragon Ball experience, then consider getting Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. The Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, plus a new Power Awakens set, Legendary Edition, contains the game, plus the new Power Awakens DLC, and the Trunks, Bardock, 23rd Tournament, and Goku's Next Journey DLC story expansions. Basically, everything you want, the complete experience for the game. Right now, it's on sale for a brand new low price in the eShop of $27.49. Make sure to check out the demo of the game beforehand. There's a free demo on the eShop that gives you a good taste on how the gameplay is. One Piece and Warriors style gameplay from Koei Tecmo seem like the perfect pair. And to be fair, it is. In this game, you control Luffy, or one of his friends, as you fight through a story filled with hundreds of enemies and wicked bosses by using their powers to save the day. It's a game that's nothing fancy, nothing out of the ordinary compared to the other Warriors games, but if you like One Piece stuff, then you're going to have a good time with this one. I will say though, that one of the nice features about this game is the multiplayer. It does have co-op multiplayer and local play, but it also has 4-player online play. Typically, Warriors games are solo games, so it's nice to see multiplayer included. Now there's been a lot of DLC released for this game, with lots of character additions, so if you want the complete experience without spending too much on the DLC, then getting the Ultimate Edition is the way to go. It pretty much contains everything, all the DLC with the main game. The Ultimate Edition is on sale for a brand new low price in the eShop. It's going for $28.49 until October 3rd. The Katamari Damacy games are awesome. Yes, they are weird, very Japanese, and very much over the top with their silliness. But there's something very addicting about rolling up stuff with your Katamari ball and figuring out how to do it as fast as you can in each of the levels. There's a demo in the eShop for the first remaster, dubbed Katamari Damacy REROLL, and that will give you enough of a taste to see if you like the gameplay or not. If you like the demo, then you'll like the main games. Speaking of the games, both the REROLL games, the remasters of the first and second game on the Switch, are an excellent way to enjoy and play the classic games, with new features and in some cases new content added too. Both are on sale for $7.49 each, an excellent deal in my opinion for these games. I bought both of them at full price and I was very satisfied. And here, well, you can get both of them for half the price of one. Mr. DrillLand on Switch is actually an updated version, a remaster if you will, of a GameCube game that never came out in North America back in the day. That was a shame because Mr. DrillLand was arguably the best puzzle game for that system. Luckily, years later, we get to finally enjoy the classic game and its many fun gameplay modes that, in addition to the classic Mr. Driller arcade experience, adds some interesting changes to the formula. The version on Switch includes a ton of multiplayer modes, including up to 4-player online play, and it even includes a new casual mode for new or younger players to get a feel for the game. It's only $4.79 via the latest sale, less than $5. Trust me, that is a steal at that price. If you have the Ring Fit Adventure or the Switch Sports game, and you're wondering if there's anything else you can do with that Switch Joy-Con controller strap thing that you got with the games, well, I do have a game for you. Active Life Outdoor Challenge is an updated version of a Wii game where you compete in light exercise like mini-games, and instead of using a balance board and Wii remote, well, now you use a Joy-Con strap and Joy-Con controllers. As for the mini-games themselves, they have you doing such things as a jump rope challenge, kayaking, river rafting, minecart racing. Wait a second, minecart racing? Okay, so the game can be a little bit broad in its exercise theme. That said, you kinda know what to expect here. It's a fun little diversion, probably a great little game for younger kids too, to get them moving or get the family involved. and for $5, I mean really, probably could do a whole lot worse. At the very least, it'll help you get a little bit more use out of that Switch strap thing from that Ring Fit or Switch Sports game that you barely use. Hey, I'm not calling you out, I'm in the same boat of shame too. Oh, by the way, those who have a Japanese eShop account, there is a demo on there for the game. You want to check it out beforehand. Now, before we move away from the Bandai Namco deals, there is a few more to let you know about, albeit with a few warnings. One Piece Odyssey Deluxe Edition is the Switch port of the turn-based RPG with the original story involving Luffy and his crew, and it's a solid game and a solid port for the system. If you're a fan of One Piece and like RPGs, then there's no reason not to get this game. That said though, even though it's on sale for the first time ever at $41.99, I would say wait on this if you intend to buy it digitally. Why is that? Because I'm certain we'll see a drop for this one again, one that's even lower around holiday time. The same thing goes for Spy ANYA, Operation Memories, which is a cute sim-adventure / minigame collection based on the Spy Family franchise. It's all set around ANYA and her adventures. If you're a fan of Spy Family and like cute things, then yeah, this game will probably look fun to you. But even with its first sale on the eShop being a nice 30% off, I think this one will drop again and drop lower around the end of the year. That said, if you really want to play these games right now, don't let me stop you. At least you're getting a nice discount in the meantime. Tales of Symphonia Remastered is a bit of a troubling game for me. On one hand, I hate that it's based off the PS2 version and not the GameCube one, and that it has a 30 FPS frame rate. That said, if you never played the GameCube version and you only have access to a modern console, then at a new low price of $13.99, you might see the value of picking this game up. Honestly though, it is a great RPG, a classic, so at a new low price of $14, it's really not bad. I just wish the port was better. But if you want it and been eyeing it, then this is by far the cheapest the game has ever been on Switch. Indie puzzle platforming classic Braid is back, the new Anniversary Edition. It features updated visuals, including changes that make the game have a more hand-painterly look, as well as includes a ton of behind-the-scenes stuff and over 12 hours of recorded commentary. That said, it's still the same classic game at heart, with the time manipulation mechanics and incredible puzzles and story. If you have never experienced this game before, then do make it a point to pick up the Anniversary Edition. It is on sale for $6.79 on the eShop, which is a massive discount for a game that just came out a few months ago. Do you like the original Metal Gear games? If you do, well, UnMetal is very much in that style, albeit with some modern conveniences and a lot more humor this time around. In this game, you play as Jesse Fox, a guy who has found himself imprisoned in a military base for a crime he didn't commit. He must now try to escape using everything he can. You'll need to use various weapons, explosives, gadgets, and more in order to help him escape, along with his, well, we'll just say his quick thinking and big mouth. As you play, you'll gain experience and new skills to help you out on your quest, which will open up new possibilities in your escape. Now, like I've said before, this game has a ton of humor, this game takes jabs at everything, with a ton of gaming and movie references, and there's lots of funny scenarios to discover as you play. That said, the gameplay, don't sleep on it, it's actually pretty good, and it rewards those who think outside of the box. Just like the later Metal Gear games, there's always more than one solution to a problem. It's on sale for $4.99 until September 26. Before I go today, here's one last look at some deals before they expire in the upcoming days. The Last Campfire is a puzzle adventure game that is a wonderful little gem of a game. You play as a soul called Amber who must solve puzzles to help other lost souls who have lost all hope. As you save the lost souls, new areas will be unlocked, allowing you to advance further, as well as meet other characters who can give you items to solve more puzzles. The gameplay in this one is fun, I like the variety and execution of the puzzles, and the story within the game is charming, yet bittersweet. The only downside I have to the game is it is a bit short, but there has been updates from Hello Games to add more puzzles to play. Shortness aside, I think it's an excellent adventure game that's worth checking out for just $1.99. If $2 games were always this good, I think we'd be set. In Happy Humble Burger Farm, you play as a burger flipper who was recently hired to work the night shift at Happy's place of delicious fast food, otherwise known as the Humble Burger Farm. Now things aren't as simple as it seems, because as you upgrade the restaurant and work your happy little job, things will go haywire, with simple things such as fires happening, to even paranormal events, and to avoid spoilers, let's just say, at times, you're gonna fear for your happy little life. As silly as it sounds, it has some jump scares, but it's a good, interesting game on the Switch. It's part restaurant sim, part horror game that is totally a weird mashup, but it works surprisingly well. It's on sale for just $4.99 until September 26th. I'm a big fan of game bundles, especially when they go on sale, and one of the better values available this week is the Crash Bandicoot Crashiversary bundle. This has Crash Bandicoot and Sing Trilogy with the remasters of the first 3 Crash Bandicoot PlayStation 1 games, plus the latest game in the series, Crash 4, plus the kart racing game, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, all for $39.99. That's a lot of games, great games, for the price. These are all high quality games, they all look good, and are solid in performance on the Switch. I've recommended these games many times over the years on the channel, from the platformers to the kart racing game. They are some of the best games on the Switch, not made by Nintendo. Tinykin is a really neat spin on the Pac-Man gameplay concept. The gameplay still has you collecting and guiding a group of small creatures, just like you would in Nintendo's Pac-Man games. But in Tinykin, the gameplay isn't really a strategy game. This is more of a platformer game with some mild action and adventure elements. You will need to use the Tinykin and their abilities to create ladders, bridge paths, move objects, solve puzzles, and more in order to navigate through the different areas as you explore. Also along the way, you will encounter and interact with other characters and creatures who may or may not aid you along your journey. I like this game quite a lot. It's a nice cozy game that I recommend for all players. There is a demo on the eShop to check out if you're interested, and I do highly recommend you check it out. And if you like the demo and want to pick it up for the Switch, then there's no better time than the present, as the game is marked all the way down to $6.24. This is by far the lowest price it's ever been on the eShop. A Metroidvania type game, Ori and the Blind Forest, has you taking control of Ori, a spirit, as you explore, platform, and solve puzzles. The gameplay is top-notch, with a beautiful story, inspired by The Lion King and the Iron Giant, but it's also a treat for the eyes and the ears. The visuals in this game are gorgeous. It's such a beautiful looking game, and the soundtrack is fantastic too, and fully orchestrated. The current sale price isn't the cheapest it's ever been on Switch, but trust me, you'd be hard-pressed to spend $8 any better on the Switch than spending it on Ori and the Blind Forest. It's one of the best action platformers ever made. Ori and the Blind Forest is a gem that you simply must experience. There's a demo on the eShop too, if you're interested.